Wherever I am in my personal journey, that is where I'm meant to be. For this moment, to live where I am in my personal journey is what is my purpose. Where I am in my spiritual journey, what I understand and do not understand, is exactly where I need to be, where I am meant to be. How do I know? Because that is where I am. What is the will of life. Experiencing where I am in my spiritual journey exactly is where I'm supposed to be. That is my current initiative, my current purpose. It's not that the ego has resistance towards what is. Resistance to what is ego in operation. It is the ego, one of its masks. Judgment of or resistance to anything is always rooted in personal identity. Let's discover that very, very deeply now. Surrender simply means no judgment, no resistance. Surrender, which is acceptance, is not an addition of anything. It is simply the removal of judgment, of resistance. Nothing to achieve, nowhere to go. No one needs to be different. Nothing needs to be different. Life situation doesn't need to be different. State of the body doesn't need to be different. Even state of mind, thought and motion doesn't need to be different. Confusion doesn't need to go. Doubt doesn't need to dissolve. Suffering doesn't need to diminish. There's absolutely no fight left against experience in whichever way it may be appearing right now. The embodiment of that is what I consider the spiritual life. Spiritual life has nothing to do with what we wear or what we eat or what we do. I think the deepest element of the spiritual life is absolutely no fight against experience the way that it is appearing to be right now. All your fight is on behalf of the person you believe yourself to be. Fighting only strengthens personal identity. Yes, by fighting, sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't. Regardless of the outcome, it will strengthen personal identity. Regardless of the outcome, you will be unhappy. You will suffer. Through the position of surrender, non resistance, sometimes you will get what you want, sometimes you won't. Regardless of the outcome, you will be happy. Regardless of the outcome, we grow spiritually. We begin to transcend personal identity, growing in the understanding of our true nature. Become the empty space in which this experience is appearing for the moment. And we don't need to become that. I am that. So lose belief in who you think you are. Lose belief in the idea that I am the body. That is an assumption you can pick up or put down. Don't relate to experiences as the person you think yourself to be. Don't judge what is based on the person you take yourself to be and what that means for you, whether you like it or you don't. See this entire operation as the movement of mind, which itself is something you can be the space in which it happens and appears, but don't identify, don't take that to be you. Don't take shape as the person for whom it means something. Stay surrendered at all times. That is the embodiment of the spiritual journey, the spiritual teaching. What is our deepest desire? Is it of the world? Is what I desire belong to the world? If so, there has to be some learnings until the desire matures into something that the world cannot offer. If the deepest desire is of the world, that need not be resisted. Welcome the learnings. Welcome the suffering that will help that desire mature into the formless. Because desire for experience can only end in one outcome, which is suffering. The fruit of desire for experience is suffering. It's clothed in temporary hits of satisfaction or pleasure, but it always ends in pain. Until we realize that, there has to be some learnings. Welcome those. We are exactly where we are in our spiritual journey. Welcome whatever and however the journey will unfold and mature. Remain surrendered. However, it is appearing, at whichever pace it is going, be dead to these ideas, these concepts of where it must go, how it must come, in which time frame it should flow. These are all rooted in personal identity, trying to serve the gain of the person you think you are. Surrender is the only medicine to this hypnosis of personhood, of desire for experience, desire for impermanence. Until there is desire for experience, self inquiry, our self inquiry is not pure. We should accept that idea. We should accept that instead of fight against that. We don't need to pretend to be more pure than we feel we are. If we feel that we have great attachments in the world, that's okay. But we should accept that and allow then the lesson, the learnings to come and the suffering through which they come. We say we want to grow spiritually, but the moment we feel some pain, encounter an inconvenience, get insulted, or come across an undesirable outcome, we wonder, why me? Why is this happening? These aren't obstacles, they are the path. Remain surrendered. Let these experiences arise when they do, and don't fight. Do what needs to be done, handle what needs to be handled, but inwardly have no fight against whatever is arising and whatever you may have to do on the bodily level. Total openness. No matter where we are in our spiritual journey, it is exactly where we need to be, exactly what we need to experience. Welcome it with open arms. The teaching is arising in our experience. That is already the greatest blessing. Whenever we encounter any teaching that feels true, take it to be like God speaking to you, life speaking to you. Pay respect, show gratitude by applying the teaching, by embodying the teaching. Then we grow. We begin to grow clearer. Let the coming and going of experiences happen. Be only its witness.